This conference.
Right, let's start today's session. So in the last session, we were discuss about inheritance topic. So we have seen single inheritance, multi-level, multiple, okay, and also we have seen hybrid inheritance, all the types of inheritances we were discuss. In today's session, I'm going to discuss about constructor role in inheritance. Constructor role in inheritance. We have seen inheritance with methods, but if constructors are present inside the classes, how these constructor role in inheritance, we will see now. Okay, so let's see this constructor role in inheritance clearly. So first we will see single inheritance constructor role, and after that remaining inheritances. So let's see this. Here I'm taking object oriented programming 24. So I'm taking example of single inheritance constructor role. Suppose here class name is A, and inside this class init, this is constructor, and here I'm taking A class constructor. And let's take one more class, that is B, df underscore underscore init, and print what actually B class constructor, B class constructor. So class A, class B. Okay, init initialization to our constructors. I'm trying to create object for what class? B class. So here B is an object, and this B is a class name. So the moment when we create object to the class, we will execute, constructor will execute. So B class constructor is executing clearly, sir. Look at this B class constructor. Okay, fine. So here, if there is no constructor in B, so if there is no constructor anything inside the B, means we have to use pass. B class don't have anything, so let's run this. So nothing is going to display because we created object for class B. When we create object for the class B, inside the class B constructor should be initialized, but that's not there. So pass is there, nothing is there in the class. Fine. Next, what I'm trying to include, I'm including constructor in B, and this is inherited from A. So as we create object to the class B, then B class constructor is executing. And now the moment when we don't use this constructor and pass, now this time you can see when we create object to the class B, exactly class B constructor should execute, but inside the class B there is no constructor present. So but this class B is inherited from which class? A class. So it's a parent class. So automatically the priority will give to parent class constructor. Generally, which class object you create, that class constructor will be executed, sir. But when this constructor is not available in that particular class, automatically it looking forward for its parent class. So if it is looking forward for parent class means, then parent class constructor is going to execute. So this is the constructor role in single inheritance. Similarly, I'm just taking one more class that makes multi-level inheritance. Now you can see here class C of B. C class also inherited from what actually init int C class constructor here. C class constructor here. We need to create object for C class. When we create object to the C class constructor only will execute. If there is no constructor present in C class, okay, then priority will give to what actually B class. Even there is no constructor in B class, then priority will go to what A class. So this is the priority of the constructor and constructor role in inheritances, multi-level inheritance. Okay, so one thing is for sure, create object to the class. That class constructor only will execute. In case the class don't have any constructor, it look forward for its parent class. If there is no parent class, then obviously there is no output for the class. This is constructor role in what inheritance? Multi-level. Let's see this. I'm taking constructor into multiple now. So A, B are the base classes and we have constructor in these classes now. So A class, constructor, B class, constructor, and now you can see C class, A comma B. These two are what actually B class, C class constructor through A comma B is ready. Now you can see C equals to C. C is inherited from AB only. When we create object to the class C constructor will execute. If there is no constructor present in class C, then obviously what priority first? A priority first. Because as I said in the last session, method resolution order. So the order is very important. What order we maintain that classes like A comma B means first order is A, then second priority is what? B. If there is no constructor present in C class, because we created object for C, and obviously it looking the priority wise first A class constructor, then after B class constructor. Now let's see this A class constructor. It's there because order is like this. So what order, for example, if I mention order this B comma A, first I mention order is B, then after A, then now what is the order here? B class constructor only order. Priority is B class constructor now. Let's see. The priority is B class. So this is order is important, sir. Okay. If A comma B means first priority goes to A, if there is no constructor present in A also, immediately next priority will give to what actually? Again, B only, sir. First it will check in C because we created object for C. There is no constructor in C. Again, next it will check in what? A. There is no constructor in A. Final priority is what? B only. So this is the constructor role in single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level. It's same applicable for hybrid and as well as hierarchical inheritance also clearly. Okay. So this is constructor role and this is about inheritance in Python object-oriented programming. Next, I'm going to start with the polymorphism in Python. This is the third feature of object-oriented programming. So in the introduction of object-oriented programming, I discuss clearly polymorphism means poly means many and morph means behavior. Poly means many and morph means behavior. Morph means behavior. Okay. Poly means many and morph means behavior. In object-oriented programming, if you take any method or any operator, it will show different behavior. So it depends on situation. So for example, you can consider plus operator is there. Using plus operator, we can uh, add two numbers. At the same time, using plus operator, we can add two strings and also we can add two objects references also. So that means plus operator is doing multiple tasks. That is called polymorphism. Each task time plus operator adding two string behavior is different, adding two integers behavior is different, adding two object references behavior is different. No? So that is depends on situation. Same operator is act as differently. But same method also, for example, if we take any method in object-oriented programming, that methods also will show different behavior. Means method with one parameter, behavior is different. Method with two parameters, behavior is different. Method with multiple parameters, behavior is different. Same method, when it is having multiple parameters values, behavioral changes are completely different, sir. So that is polymorphism. And polymorphisms are two types, as I said that. One is static polymorphism, static. It also called as compile time, means at the time of writing the code. It is compile time. Runtime in the sense during the program execution time. So static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism. So overloading is related to static polymorphism. It's a refinement technique, as I said that. Refinement technique always. It is refinement technique. Refinement technique. Next one is dynamic polymorphism, also called as runtime polymorphism. Overriding option is there here. Overriding it is. Overriding. Overriding. It's a replacement technique, sir, here. It is a replacement technique. Replacement technique. Static or compile time. Overloading concept is related to static or compile time polymorphism. It's a refinement technique. Dynamic or runtime polymorphism. It's a overriding. Overriding concept is related to dynamic polymorphism. It's a replacement technique. So overloading, I'm talking now. In overloading, we have to discuss multiple overloadings. Different types of overloadings are there. Let's see this. What are the types of overloadings are available in this? So let's see. First, operator overloading. Operator overload. First, let me write which will support, which will not support. I will explain you. Operator overloading. Next, method overloading. Method overloading. Next, constructor overloading. Constructor overloading. Operator overloading. Method overloading. Constructor overloading. Okay. So next, overriding. There are few overridings. That is, method overriding is there, and then constructor overriding is there. There is no operator overriding. Constructor overriding. Constructor overriding. Method overriding and constructor overriding, like this. Okay. Yes. So operator overloading. Python do not support operator overloading. Sorry. Python supports operator overloading only with the help of magic methods or special methods. Python do not support method overloading. Python do not support constructor overloading. Method and constructor almost same. So it's not possible. So overloading of method as well as overloading of constructor is not possible in Python, sir. But overloading of operator is possible, that too with the help of magic methods only. And coming to this method overriding. Overriding of method is possible, yes. And overriding of constructor is also possible, that is yes. So overriding, there is no problem. But overloading, only operator overloading is possible. Method overloading, constructor overloading is not at all possible. Okay, that is the case. So we'll see this how it will be overload operator and overloading of method, overloading of constructor. Why don't support or why don't possible in Python also we'll discuss. First, let me talk about operator overloading. So as I said that plus is an operator which is used to add two numbers, and the same plus operator is used to add two strings. But we can also overload the plus operator by adding two object references here. So we can use plus operator for adding two objects references, sir. So how to use plus operator for adding two objects references, we'll look into that. So let's see the scenario. Object oriented programming 25. Give me 1 second. Oh, here I'm taking class. Class name is book. In this book class, I'm taking constructor. And inside the constructor, I'm taking what actually just a parameter that is called pages. So here self dot pages equals to pages I'm assigning. I'm creating object for the book class B1 and class name is book. But whenever we create object to the book class, automatically constructor will execute. But when constructor executing, then it will expect what's are pages only. So number of pages are like 20 pages I'm giving. B2 equals to, now you can see book. Then 30 pages I'm taking. Print what actually B1 plus B2 I'm taking. Look at this. I'm using here plus operator. Look at this plus operator I'm using. I'm adding B1 and B2 two objects references. What I'm adding? Two object references I'm adding. Generally plus operator we can use for adding two numbers, and also plus operator we can use for adding two strings only. But here we are trying to add what actually two object reference. B1 plus B2. B1, B2 are two objects. Okay, let's try to run this. But it is not possible, sir, here. So look at this. It's not possible. Right? We just try to run this. You will get error. What error? You just notice this. We got this here. Unsupported operand type for plus operator book and book. That means two objects references like B1 and B2 are the object references of book class. We are trying to add two objects references, but you can't able to add two object references with plus operator. So we can add using plus operator two numbers, two strings like that. But these are all references. It refer what class. So these references we cannot add it. Do you want to add two objects references by using this plus operator? Then this plus operator has to override with magic methods. In Python programming, every operator is having magic methods. Okay. In Python, in Python, every operator, every operator is having magic method. Every operator is having magic methods. For example, yes, all the operators will work based on its magic method only. For example, we are having this plus operator, then underscore underscore add underscore underscore. This is the magic method for plus operator. We use minus operator, then we can use underscore underscore sub underscore underscore. This is a magic method. If we use star operator, then we can use underscore underscore multiply underscore underscore. This is magic method. Slash means this is magic method. So all the magic methods are there for every operator. Not only these basic operators, like for example, modulus is there, underscore underscore, mod underscore underscore. This is example, less than operator is there, underscore underscore, lt underscore underscore, like this. For example, less than or equal to is there, underscore underscore, lte underscore underscore, like this. So this is all the magic methods are available, sir. I'm giving simple only basic operators and magic method, but for sure in Python programming, every operator is having magic methods or special methods also we can call it as. These all the special methods through only these operators will work fine in Python. So the reason why, if you want to add here in this program currently two objects references we are adding by using plus operator, but directly we cannot add two objects references. Do you want to overload this plus operator by adding two objects? this plus operator internally should depend on magic method. So that means this place operator can be replaced with magic method. So underscore underscore add. Look at this. This is called predefined. So underscore underscore add underscore underscore of self comma other. Only one parameter is support. This is other parameter. So let's see this other, and I'm going to return self dot pages plus other dot pages. Now this time we can able to add two objects references. We got the result 20 plus 30. Two objects references values we are adding 30, because this plus operator can be override with add magic method, and b1 equals to 20, that is pages, and b2 equals to 30, that is other pages. Then two object references we are adding. So it depends on based on your action. But here my action is only what we can say 10 plus 20, two objects references only. But for example, if I want to add some multiplication, I want to do not plus b1 into b2, then immediately you have to change what's our magic method with multiply, and also here this operator is star operator, then it is otherwise not. So what you understand here, even operator overloading also not possible in Python without help of magic method. I'm saying with the help of magic method only, then operator overloading is possible in Python. Without magic method, there is no possibility of overloading of operator. So what operator symbol we are using, that relevant magic method only we have to use. If you don't use magic methods, we can't do it. So operator overloading is possible, that too with the help of magic methods. Magic methods or special methods only it's possible. And coming to this method overloading, undoubtedly not possible. Constructor overloading, undoubtedly not possible. In other languages like C Sharp, .NET, Java, constructor overloading is possible, method overloading is possible. Why? Because that languages are compiler based languages, but Python is completely interpreted based languages. Because of that interpreted only, in Python programming, line by line code will check. So even when we have multiple methods with same name in our program, last method only will be considered. I'll tell you why method overloading is not possible, constructor overloading is not possible. Generally, when we can say a method is said to be overload method, when we have same methods with different implementation. No, suppose here you can see I'm taking def m1 method is there. M1 method is having one parameter. Df again m1 method I'm taking. This m1 method I'm taking two parameters. Again same m1 method I'm taking. This m1 method I'm taking three parameters like this. A, B, C like this. So look at this m1 method name is same here in my case. But the type arguments or parameters are what? Different. Here one parameter, two parameters, three parameters are there. So method name is same, but number of parameters and even sometimes type of parameters also different. So we can pass any type of values, two integers, one integer, one float, three integers, three floats like that. So but method name is ultimately same. So this method is said to be what? Overloaded method. So if when we have a same method with same name with a different type of implementation or different types of arguments, if you are able to work with this same m1 method three times in three different outputs you are getting, then we can say Python supports overloading of method. See, overloading of method means if a method is having already some work to do, again when we assign some other work to the same method, then that method is said to be overload method. But here m1 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 same method, we are assigning different tasks to them. First case a value, a parameter, second case ab parameters, two parameters, third case three parameters we are assigning. So that method is said to be overloaded method. But Python do not support overload. I'm saying we can't overload a method. We can't work with same method with different types of parameters, different number of parameters. Why? What is the reason? Let me explain that. The reason is, look this. It's an interpreter, no? Python. So that is the problem here. Now, I have a class called test. In this tester class, I'm taking M1 without arguments, without any parameters. So no arguments method it is. This is no arguments method. Let me create one more same method with one argument. Then print what actually? One argument method. One argument method. Next df m2 m1 method again. A comma b. Print two arguments method. Two arguments method here. Two arguments method. This is okay. Look at this m1, m1, m1. All methods are available, and here one argument method and two arguments methods are there. Method name is same. Okay, but let's try to create object to the class here, and we are trying to call the methods are. What method I'm calling? M1 method I'm calling. See, my intention is to call this method is what? This method I am calling. I want to call this method only, M1 method, because I'm not supplying any parameter values or input values to this method M1. So that's what here I'm expecting no arguments method here. T dot M1, no arguments method I'm expecting here. M1 of self, no arguments method. Okay, this is no arguments method I'm expecting. But this Python interpreted language. So first it will check, then after it will check, then after it will here. The last method is what here? M1. But look at this, when we have multiple methods with same name in same class, Python is interpreted language. That's what last method only will be considered in the execution process. So this M1 is expecting what? Two arguments, two parameters values. Parameters are input values. The moment when we run this, you will get error. What error? You can see this type error. Test class dot M1 method is missing two required positional arguments AB. Meaning is what? This method is calling, this method is expecting AB, but you are not passing this A value, B value input values. But as a programmer, I am looking to call this method, but that's not working. Okay, so this is the problem actually. Why method overloading is not possible? In Python programming, when we have multiple methods with the same name, with the different arguments or parameter, Python will consider last method only for the execution, because in interpretation M1, 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 last M1 is whatever it is tracing. This method is allow you to call. This method is taking two arguments. Okay, M1 method. So two arguments method is there. So that's what we are not supplying any input values. It will not give you allow to access. Suppose if I try to pass one value here, but now I am trying to call this method M1 method, which is a one parameter, one value I'm passing. But is Python consider this method execution? No. It's consider what? This execution. Obviously, it will expect again one more value which is missing for B. You have called that M1 method t.m1, then 10 value we supplied, 10 values goes for A, but what about B? So that's what it's saying, like line number 12. We are calling this M1 method. This M1 method missing one required positional argument, that is called what? B only. So look at this, B is missing required positional argument. Okay, tester.m1 missing one required positional argument, B only. So B is missing, A is having 10. Next I'm taking 20, sir. Now let's run this. Now you can see two arguments method is perfectly calling, because Python is considering last method execution. We are passing last method what it is expecting 10, 20. Two arguments methods are coming. So ultimately what I mean to say, when we have multiple methods with the same name with the different types of arguments, we can only execute last method of the program We can't able to work with all the methods because Python is a interpreted programming language. Python program will consider only last method what we declare, what we define them. So you can't work with M1, M1, M1 three times with different types of arguments. That's what overloading of method is not possible in Python. So you can say finally method overloading is not possible in Python. Why? Because the reason is when we have multiple methods with same name with the different types of arguments, Python will consider always only last method what we declare it. So we can able to work with last method only, not for all methods. Okay, this is the reason why Python do not support method overloading. If you can able to work with this method M1, this method M1 with one argument, this method M1 with two arguments, then we can say overloading of Python is possible. But we are not able to work with the, so it's not possible. Okay, yes, same similarly constructor overloading also is not possible, sir. So constructor and method almost same, then constructor overloading also not possible. So let's see this constructor overloading not possible means, so I'm including here constructor only, underscore underscore init underscore underscore. So this is no arguments constructor now, and here also constructor same init underscore underscore. This is no arguments, one argument constructor, one argument constructor. Now here I'm taking underscore underscore init underscore underscore. This is two arguments constructor, two argument constructor. Now you know that when constructor will execute, sir, constructor will execute only when we create object to the class. We created object to the class, but which constructor will execute? Notice that three constructors are there. Obviously last constructor only will be considered because Python is an interpreter. So look at this, that type error is coming because test class dot constructor missing two required positional arguments a and b we have not supplied. We are trying to attempt to call this constructor first one which is no arguments, but Python will be consider last one. Even if you try to pass one parameter value, still you will get what actually error. The reason is b is missing. If you supply these two values, then this is suitable for calling last constructor. Python is considering last constructor only. We are passing that last constructor, two arguments method constructor is possible. That's fine, sir. Got my point? So this is the case exactly here. Class test init initialization. Now you can see df init t equal to test 1020 like this only. Fine. So that's where method overloading and constructor overloading is not possible in Python. Only operator overloading is possible, that too with the help of magic methods as well as special methods only. Even there is no magic methods or special methods, construct operator overloading also is not possible. Now coming to this overriding of, but look at this, as I said that overloading is always what actually refinement technique. Refinement in the sense as per programmer needs, and that adjustment we can do with what, before going to execute the program, before going to run the program, that is called refinement technique, we can say that. Okay, it's called refinement technique. Refinement means we are changing the code every time as per our needs, before going to run the program. Compile time only we are doing, so that's what changes over at compile time, that's what it is called static polymorphism. Okay, but overriding means what actually, dynamic polymorphism, runtime. Dynamic means at the time of program execution, automatically based on your requirement, that is methods will be replaced or constructor can be replaced, that is called replacement technique. So let's see this method overriding here. Okay, this method overriding means, I'll explain through inheritance only because inheritance is the main part in the polymorphism. Let's see this in general in inheritance process. Okay, I'm taking inheritance process again. So whatever the members are available, whatever the members are available, members means any variables and methods or constructors in the parent class. Whatever the members are available in parent class that are by default available, that are by default, available child classes, that are by default available to child classes. Whatever the members are available in parent class that are by default available to child classes through inheritance, through inheritance, through inheritance. Whatever the members are available in parent class that are by default available to child classes through inheritance. Okay, child classes through inheritance. Next, if child class is not satisfied, is not satisfied with the parent class implementation, with the parent class implementation, with the parent class implementation, then if child class is not satisfied with the parent class implementation, then then child class can redefine redefine the parent class methods. This process is called what actually? Overriding, we can say that. Overriding. Process is called overriding, sir. If child class is not satisfied with the parent class implementation, then child class can redefine the parent class methods according to child class requirement. This process is called what? Overriding, we can say that. What is that? Overriding. Okay. So let's see this, how overriding is possible. Yes, overriding, method overriding as well as constructor overriding, both are possible, sir, here. Okay, let's see this implementation practically, method overriding, how it will be. So let's see this first example. If parent is having some functionality, child can get that functionality by default, but if child is not satisfied that functionality which implemented by parent, then child can redefine its method. Yes, exactly. Child class can what we can say, modify the parent class functionality according to their requirement. Let's see this here. I'm taking class parent. Parent class is having what we can say, assets, a method print cash plus gold plus lands, and def parent class is having some car print alto car. This is just example. Try to understand what way he is going to modify. It is a parent class. I'm creating class child. Child is inherited from usually parent. I'm giving no implementation in child, but we need to create object for child class, and child class through can access assets and car or not. Look at this. This is a parent class. Parent class is having what? Assets. The assets cash plus gold plus lands with parent, and parent class is having one more method, car method. It's having like alto car. So whatever the members like assets and car available inside the parent class, these members by default available to the child class through inheritance. Whatever the members are available in parent class that are by default available to child classes through inheritance. But here in this case, child is trying to access all methods happily. Assets and c dot car. There is no problem at all. Let's run this one. We got this here, cash plus gold plus land alto car. So child is also accessing clearly parent class functionality through inheritance. But the matter is, if the child class is not satisfied with the parent class implementation, in case if child is not satisfied some of the method implementation of its parent, then child class can redefine the parent class methods. This process is called overriding, we can say that. So this, so for example, child is very much interested about these assets. He don't have any complaints. He is ready to access this one. but he don't satisfied with this especially. So that's what child can decide, that he can re-implement this same parent method with new cars. Okay, like this. Now this time you can see this, though we have a parent class car method, but child can redefine the same car method with different implementation because he don't satisfied with this initially. Okay, now you are going to get what this method is replaced or not. So this car method replaced with this car method. So automatically this implementation is changed. This is going to happen at what time? Runtime. During the program execution time only its replacement is going to happen. Now in place of Alto car, we were changed that implementation according to child, then Grand Vitara is came. But there is a flexibility again. Later child was realized. Okay, so he is ready to accept this method also. He wants to be access this parent class method also. Then in that context, within the override method, this is the override method. Within the override method, if he wants to access this parent class car, then how he can access means what we have to use. This is super method we have to use. What method? Super. Why super method we have to use means as per inheritance rule. So the parent class is also called as super class. So that's what in Python, if even derived class method, if they want to access parent class methods, then they can use super method. What they can use? Super method. But in other languages like C Sharp.NET, we use base keyword, base class we can call it as. But in Python, we use super. The moment when we call this c.car, so car method will call within the child class, then immediately super method is there. It will go to parent class. So parent class Alto car will come, and again child class method implementation what Grand Vitara. Both are going to display here. Now we can see this. Even though child class methods re-implementation, but even later child wants to access that parent class methods also, then we can use what method? Super method. So this is concept called what actually? Overriding concept. So the moment when we execute dynamically during the program execution time, so code will be replaced. This is what replacement technique and overriding technique. So method behavior is changing at runtime only. That's what it's a dynamic polymorphism. Polymorphism means behavioral changes of method or behavioral changes of operators. So method overriding is possible as well as constructor overriding also possible, sir. Constructor is commonly override because generally when we have parent class with constructor and child class also same constructor, automatically parent class constructor will be override. But you want to get parent class constructor also, then again super method you have to use. Let's see this how constructor can be override here. I'm creating class parent again, and in this parent class I'm including constructor and print. This is called parent class constructor here. Parent class constructor. Parent class constructor. And here I'm creating one more class that is called child. Child is inherited from parent. But look at this. Child also is having what? Constructor. And here I'm taking child class constructor I'm using. Child class constructor. And we need to create object for child class. So when we create object for child class, who will execute? Constructor will execute. But child class constructor only will execute or not? Yes. Because even though this child is inherited from parent, this constructor will be override. Override means replacement. So let's run this one. You will get only child class because parent is having already constructor, but child also is redefined the same constructor here, so that we got child class constructor here. But if there is no constructor present in child class, look at this. Obviously, what class constructor? Parent class only. But sir, even though I have override this constructor, Still, I want to get both constructors, even parent class constructor also I need to access with this override constructor. Then we use super again. Super dot underscore init. So let's run this. So we are using child class constructor also along with parent class constructor here. So overriding of constructor is clearly possible. Overriding of method are clearly possible. Okay. So constructor overriding, method overriding, no problem at all in Python. But only the thing is method overloading, constructor overloading is not possible, because when we have multiple methods, multiple constructor with same name, that Python interpreter will consider last method, last constructor only. That's what we are not able to do. But there is alternate solution is there to overload the method or constructor. Generally, when we have only one method, we can able to work with same method with multiple tasks. That concept is decorator concept is there in Python. Decorator through somehow we can achieve overloading mechanism in Python. That is alternate mechanism. Okay. So that's all for now today. And one small announcement I'm giving, from now onwards, uh, classes will be even including Sundays also. Morning sessions I'm going to take from Monday to Sunday. Sunday also including sessions from now onwards. So there is no gap, there is no break for these sessions, because already we have waste lot of time due to some holidays. So that's what I have to cover it. So every Sunday also you have a class. Regular classes are there. Daily you should attend. There is no break till we complete this advanced Python. So after that, we have to start with Django also for full stack Python programmers who opted for full stack. So it takes time. So that's what I take this decision. Sundays also I will conduct the sessions regular time only. Please be prepared for that. So I have already started advanced Python. Still few days are required. So it's not finished as much as early now. Still lot of concepts are there, like abstraction and uh, what we can say multi-threading, file handling, exception handling, regular expression, decorator, generator, pandas, numpy, matplotlib, many things are there. Yeah, yeah. So only by taking regularly I can finish quickly. So if any gap, that is the problem. But I don't want to maintain that breaks. That is not even good for me. We'll see. Hope we'll take completely without skip the classes. But Sundays also you can be prepared. Continuation classes will be there. See you tomorrow.